InfoHub recap for the week June 17 to June 21. Region 7 benefits from government outreach. Government will abide by CCJ ruling, and President Granger is committed to house-to-house registration. Stay with us as we take a look at these and other stories which made headlines this week.
The future of Guyana has never looked better. Our nation is on the cusp of a development program like never seen before. While Guyana is now emerging as an energy giant through the discovery of massive reserves of oil and natural gas, it is your government's intention that the huge benefits emerging from this will go where it matters most, to you, the people of this beloved country. There is a surge of confidence in the way Guyana is governed once again, and the level of investor interest is unprecedented. Guyana is poised to become the breadbasket of the region, and the pace at which this nation will grow through prudent fiscal management will be nothing short of impressive. But more than anything else will be the way every Guyanese, regardless of color, class, or creed, becomes a part of this historic period of national transformation, sharing in the wealth and well-being of it all as one Guyana.
President David Granger said his administration will abide with the ruling handed down by the Caribbean Court of Justice. The head of state declared that the government can now outline a path to free, fair, and credible elections following Tuesday's ruling.
President Granger said he will await word from the Elections Commission before announcing a specific date for when elections can be held.
The chairman of the Guyana Elections Commission, Justice Patterson, has previously informed me that the Commission will be ready to hold elections in November 2019. This will be after the completion of house-to-house registration. I now await a recommendation for a specific date from GCOM, and I will then issue a proclamation.
The head of state was emphatic that elections could only be held once house-to-house registration is completed.
We cannot proceed on the current list of voters. It is outdated and corrupted. It may hold as many as 200,000 incorrect entries. What is more, those who have reached the age of 18 years since the last elections are not in it. The Constitution entitles all citizens over the age of 18 the right to vote. It is a democratic imperative that house-to-house registration be completed swiftly so we can have an election at the earliest opportunity.
Pointing to the IMF report, which recently highlighted positive developments in the country within the last 4 years, President Granger called on citizens to support the coalition in delivering more transformation in the future.
The International Monetary Fund has recently indicated that Guyana is on the right path in respect to our management of Guyana's oil resources. Guyanese will be given the choice to elect a government they trust, to continue on this path, to keep Guyana moving forward, to secure a better life for every family with the United APNU plus AFC coalition, or risk our future.
From the Bartica Town Hall with senior videographer Kenny and Bacchus, Felicia Valenzuela, InfoHub.
Young professionals, senior citizens, and other supporters of the APNU AFC coalition government on Friday made a resounding call for house-to-house registration before Guyana heads to the polls.
I'm here joining the protesters asking for credible house-to-house registration in order to have a credible election. If you had listened to the statement that was made by none other than His Excellency, he would have assured the citizens to remain calm and to allow process to take place, and that process is to have house-to-house registration, which we had been calling for, in order to have a credible election, an election that will give everyone freedom of choice to elect their government of the day.
We want to make sure that we don't disenfranchise any persons. 18 years and those who weren't 18 at a time. In fact, we want our list to be sanitized. And there are a lot of dead people and so on the list. You know that.
There are over 10,000 people who will not be able to vote in the upcoming elections if we do not have house-to-house registration. 200,000 plus entries are incorrect. We need a new list. in order for us to be able to have fair elections. And that's ultimately what is important, that we not disenfranchise our youth, that they exercise their constitutional right to vote, and that we have a clean list, a new list for fair elections.
Exercising their freedom to assemble and freedom of speech, both young and middle-aged in and out of government began gathering at Lamaha and Main Streets from as early as 10 o'clock, calling on the Guyana Elections Commission GCOM to ensure house-to-house registration takes place before the next regional and general elections.
It's only fair for me. I will see the list not being in terms of quantity much more, but we know about 10,000 will go off, and it's likely that 10,000 will go on. But the 10,000 coming off are the numbers who are not supposed to be there, the person who are not supposed to be there, and the person you'll be denying 10,000 voters. Roughly 10,000 voters amount to about 2 seats in Guyana.
We don't want anyone, even if it's one person, to be excluded from that list. To disenfranchise one is to disenfranchise 1,000. So we're out here offering support for the proclamation that was made by the president that he would like to have house-to-house registration as well.
It doesn't augur well for us as a country. You know, we always say that the young people are the future. If they are the future, then act like it. Let us go house to house, ensure that they get on the voters list to be able to put their X next to whichever political party it is that they want to put their X next to. But we owe them that much as a country to ensure that we enfranchise them, we empower them to vote.
Felicia Valenzuela, InfoHub.
Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu has come out swinging against his critics, declaring that Naga ain't gone and Naga ain't going nowhere, and that he will continue to serve Guyana.
Addressing hundreds of residents at the Bartica community ground, Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu declared in song that, quote, he ain't weary yet. This is in response to a newspaper article which stated recently that, quote, Naga done.
Moses ain't get weary yet. He ain't weary yet. He been in the struggle so long, dear Lord, he never get weary yet.
Explaining why he switched from a white shirt to a olive shirt jack, the Prime Minister said, quote, he was back in battle gear.
I am back in the battle, and this is a fight that will not be surrendered by me, even though I'm 2 years short of 60 years in political life. I ain't weary yet.
Also speaking at the event were the Minister of Finance, Winston Jordan, the Minister of State, Dawn Hastings-Williams, and the Director General of the Ministry of the Presidency, Joseph Harmon, who spoke highly of the Prime Minister's performance.
I don't care where you bring any other body from before him. That is the best Prime Minister we've had in Guyana for the last 27 years. And we are proud of our Prime Minister. We are proud of our coalition partners, and we are proud of the process which produces our leaders in our coalition.
With videographer Joan Jordan, I'm Paul McAdam for InfoHub.
The International Monetary Fund, IMF, has projected a 4.4% growth in Guyana's economy, which it said will be driven by continued strength in the construction and services sectors ahead of oil production in 2020.
The latest International Monetary Fund's report on Guyana's economy validates government's efforts, according to the Minister of Finance, Winston Jordan.
We had indicated that this was to be expected. Of course, you had the criticisms, no matter what you do, right, and so forth. But we are happy that the IMF came. They did a thorough review, and 2 senior officers accompanied them in the latter part of the mission, and everybody concurred that the economy is progressing well. The economy is well managed. As concluding the numbers, we're expecting growth, a bigger growth this year, and of course in 2020 we expect an explosion in growth.
The Finance Minister noted that it is important to remember that these latest findings on the local economic performance are based on that judgment passed by an independent body.
These are very important indicators because, as you know, even credible people in the media sometimes get suckered into making statements that have no validity whatsoever. If you don't want to take it from the government, then you can take it from an independent source. They have no axe to grind. They have nothing to do with Guyana. According to the Finance Minister, it is important to note that the economic performance has been broad-based across all sectors of the local economy. And that is what we intend to happen, that the growth mustn't be being pulled from one sector only, but it must be broad-based. So that gives an indication that a broader set of people are benefiting from the growth, rather than whether it just be in mining and one aspect of mining or one aspect of agriculture and so on. And you could see it, you could feel it in the country.
With videographer Akim Thomas, Paul McAdam for InfoHub.
Region 7 residents have expressed their gratitude to the government for addressing their concerns at the most recent Government Comes to You outreach. One single mother is singing praises as her days of paying rent will soon be a thing of the past, as she received a house lot on Tuesday.
Single mother of one, Ayana Khan Hamid, is excited that she is finally in receipt of a house lot.
I'm very happy. I've applied for a land 2006 and been given a runaround, and now I'm here and I got you, and I'm very grateful, and I want to thank everybody, the president, our cabinets and everybody. I want to say thanks. I got you.
Khan Hamid, who has been renting for a number of years, described the news as a big relief.
I've been renting for, I don't know, like 2000, since the year 2000 I've been renting. Big relief for me.
Reporting from Bartica in Region 7, I am Isaiah Brackett with videographer Joanne Jordan for InfoHub.
A stone's throw away at Town Hall, the President and ministers earlier this week met for their regular cabinet session as they reflected on the development and transformation in the township in the space of 3 short years.
The municipality of Bartica is one of the success stories of this administration's agenda of empowerment.
Coming to Bartica now, who have been coming over the years, when you come to Bartica, you see the development. You know that we're going somewhere as a country.
The ministers were engaged in the cabinet session from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. before joining the outreach. Some shared their expectations on matters to be discussed.
This is part of the hinterland, and we expect a lot of questions coming about the land development, and is expected to have a healthy discussion. And of course, I'm also looking forward for suggestions, recommendations, and of course, plans for the future.
Well, it was really pleasing to see the turnout of the persons who just came to see His Excellency as he arrived in Bartica, including the school children, particularly the nursery school. You could see the glee, the excitement, and everybody was happy to see His Excellency amongst them here today. I am also happy too. I am looking forward to our cabinet here.
I'm very happy to be in Bartica Region 7 today. We are fulfilling our promise to the people. His Excellency would have told the Guyanese people that we will be bringing government to their particular region, and I'm happy to be part of that exercise today.
Mayor Gifford Marshall described the exercise as a milestone achievement for the region.
So we're hosting the cabinet meeting at the municipality of Bartica, and this is a first for us, of course. Bartica is just 3 years old as a town, and like I said, just like the township and the outreach, this too is a milestone achievement for the municipality.
This is the second cabinet meeting for His Excellency outside of Georgetown, his first being in Region 10. With senior videographer Kenyan Bacchus, Felicia Valenzuela, InfoHub.
More good news for Barticians, from mud dam to concrete. The construction of the Bartica-Putara Road is set to vastly improve the lives of commuters traveling to and from Region 7 and 8.
The works, which began at Denham Bridge in Region 8, will culminate at 5 miles in Region 7. One of the residents of 5 Miles Housing Scheme shared their views on the soon-to-be-completed roadway.
Well, we used to take long to come to work and have to walk and the mud and so on. Well, I think that the government have a bus that they bought for school children, and it will come up to the 5 Mile scheme, and all the children will be able to go to school every day because they don't have to walk. Right now, they have to walk.
Regional engineer within the Ministry of Public Infrastructure with responsibility for works in Region 7 provided InfoHub with an overview of the project.
About 33% is currently complete. The first phase of the project would have entailed the completion of 500 meters of concrete road. So the second phase would see the completion of another 1,000 meters, bringing the total to approximately 1 mile of road being completed.
The deadline for this project is October of this year. Balgram clarified why concrete surface was used over asphalt.
The rigid pavement would provide a better wearing course and generally a stronger pavement for these heavy-duty trucks that generally traverse the road. The asphalt itself is very prone to damage due to leaking lubricants and stuff on the road, which you would find is something that is highly present on these bush roads.
The flagship road project is the first major upgrade to the roadway after nearly 20 years of neglect. Reported from the Bartica-Patara Road project with videographer Adrian Prasad, Shakil Bourne for InfoHub.
President David Granger on Thursday said a digital revolution has been sweeping across the globe and Guyana has not been left behind. The head of state was speaking at the opening of the $313 million Center of Excellence in Information Technology at the University of Guyana Turkine campus.
President Granger said Guyana has no intention of remaining in the backseat while the rest of the world moves ahead with digital and information and communication technology.
The digital revolution is transforming communities, it's transforming our country. It is transforming the Caribbean. It has the possibility of creating myriad new opportunities and augmenting the delivery of public services. Guyana is becoming a digital state. A digital state aims at establishing a network of connectivity, linking every person, every community, every government agency in the entire country.
The CEIT is a joint initiative between the governments of Guyana and India, born out of a memorandum of understanding signed back in 2016. The center will provide training for public sector professionals to ensure that adequately trained personnel are available for efficient operations of ICT systems. Minister of Public Telecommunication Kathy Hughes said Guyana is fully on the road to digital transformation.
We're fully focused on using ICT as the backbone of Guyana's green development strategy. The programs that will take us there are the Smart City Initiative, interconnected public services, e-learning, telemedicine, e-commerce, and most importantly, the opportunity for all Guyanese citizens to access government services like applying for your birth certificate or your passport online, regardless of where you live.
Delivering remarks too was outgoing Indian High Commissioner to Guyana, Venkachalam Mahalingam. He said his government has had a hand in such centers across the world. The facility in Guyana, however, is the second within the Caribbean. India, he said, believes that information technology is the future of the world. Reporting for InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
Since assuming the mantle over a year ago, the announcers at Radio Bartica have transformed the lives of thousands of Region 7 residents by being their source for timely information.
Danielle Singh Bishun, Martina Ambrose Jingori, Carlita Williams, and Sienna Prasad. These young radio broadcasters are some of the voices keeping Barticans abreast with all that is happening within their township and further afield. These young broadcasters are eager to continue bridging the gap between the coast and the hinterland.
It's very fulfilling to know that you're playing a role in providing persons with the necessary information, providing people with, updating people rather, on things that are happening not just in our region here, but things that are happening in Guyana and even across the world, because that is what we do here at Radio Bartica. We just inform everyone about everything that is happening around the world and right here in Guyana.
At the end of the day, you can come and you can play your part, and you are part of the transition, the way forward, the process. It's more or less, it's a humbling experience, to be exact. You know that persons are there, and this is something that is being done for the betterment of our country's development, and you are part of that process.
I like to go and meet with persons in the streets.
I have times when I would go take the recorder and I would go to the streets because persons say it doesn't make sense you have a radio station and persons can't have access to it. So I would go into the streets and find out from persons what are some of their concerns, you know, how they feel about Radio Bartica, if they're getting enough information. And when you hear them say, I listen to the radio every single afternoon when you guys are on from 5 o'clock, and they're enjoying the information that we are sending out. We just, you know, it feels as though we're serving our purpose at Radio Bartica.
The Bartica airwaves are packed with several programs. Radio coordinator Sienna Prasad explains.
Monday is education, Tuesday, regional development, Wednesday, culture and sport is straightforward, Thursday, health, Friday, our entertainment or our little light segment. Saturday, Moose is showcasing talent and, of course, local musical area. But, of course, people love it for the music that we produce. And, of course, the greetings that we get to do a range of where the radio station is heading, because persons tune in for the music that we have and they send in their greetings so that they have an ownership that, okay, hi, my name is Heard. And then on Sunday social is a little bit serious. I normally bring a little bit of what's happening and try to give social issues an ear.
Radio Bartica was commissioned in 2017 by President David Granger and Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu. Reporting from Radio Bartica with videographer Anil Silal, Anara Khan for InfoHub.
In oil and gas news, with Guyana poised for a massive transformation through its oil and gas industry, the government has taken steps to craft an urban development master plan.
The master plan will be the blueprint to guide the future development of the city for the next 15 to 20 years. At the official launch of the task force on Monday, Minister of Communities Ronald Bulkin said that the government recognizes that the emergence of the oil and gas sector will surge the demand for public and private infrastructure, particularly in urban spaces.
The Cabinet has mandated the establishment of a high-level task force to give priority attention, not exclusive attention, to waterfront development and urban planning. The task force is not an intervention to usurp extant legal and institutional provision catering to those needs, but rather a mechanism of support to complement short-term responses to increase the probability of maximum positive impact on the society.
Director of the Department of Energy, Dr. Mark Bino, addressed the impact of oil and gas and the need for proactive infrastructural planning. He noted that Georgetown remains a place of heavy vehicular traffic and increasing congestion. It is therefore essential that a master plan takes effect.
Any such master plan must include the consideration of identifying infrastructural needs, onshore support such as fabrication and construction, and supply and service opportunities such as transportation and distribution arising from exploration and development of oil and gas resources in offshore Guyana.
The task force brings together key public agencies and ministries, including the Central Housing and Planning Authority, Environmental Protection Agency, the Ministry of Public Infrastructure, and the Ministry of Natural Resources, among others. Reporting for InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
The government of Guyana has also taken a quantum leap in the direction of improving the maritime legislative framework so that the country could be better prepared to develop the oil and gas industry.
The 24th meeting of the Caribbean Port State Control Committee was officially opened in Guyana on Wednesday evening, and according to the government, every effort is being made to respond to the demands of the industry. Speaking on behalf of Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson, Chief Coordinator of the Work Service Group Jeffrey Vaughan said that the meeting is taking place at a time when the nation is focusing on the development of the oil and gas sector.
Given the realities that the exploration of petroleum is taking place in Guyana Exclusive Economic Zone, it is obvious that there would be an intensification of shipping activity in the country, as well as in our international and internal waters.
Vaughan said that the new development poses new challenges relative to shipping and shipping-related activities. He said for the country to respond to the fresh demands and challenges, a menu of measures need to be developed. These, he highlighted, will aid in developing port state, flag state and coastal state related issues. Chairman of the Caribbean Port State Control Committee, Michelle Amafo, said maritime administrations of the Caribbean must continue to consult and cooperate and exchange information with other authorities to fuel the aims of the memorandum.
As a region, this simply means that we must work harder and recommit to the goals of the MOU. This can only be achieved by giving effect to the provisions of the memorandum and taking the necessary steps to not only ratify the relevant instruments, but to ensure that these are enacted into national legislation.
The 24th meeting of the Caribbean Port State Control Committee is being held in Guyana for the second time. For InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
With the mission of providing reliable electricity to all Guyanese, the government, through the Guyana Power and Light Incorporated, will soon officially open a third power plant for the year, this time in Bartica, Region 7.
Project engineer with oversight for the new Bartica power plant, Julian Reddy, provided an update on works to be done at the site.
The civil works is approximately 90% completed. The mechanical works is also 90% completed. The next phase that we're looking at now is to have the engine manufacturers. They will be here on the 30th. We have confirmed this with them to begin test runs and trials.
The new Bartica power plant will be powered by three 1.1 megawatt Cummins high-speed diesel engines, which will have a total output of 3.3 megawatts of electricity. The civil engineer also cited a few challenges faced during the project.
Last year we had some challenge with the closing of the sandpit. This caused some delays of the project also, and the same rain again sometime when the project started.
The new power plant had faced significant failures due to the aging engines. Project engineer Reddy shares GPL's vision for the new power plant.
So we're looking with these new gensets to have better reliability to the customers, to serve them 24/7 power without any sort of interruptions.
While the power generation needs will be met, minor electricity interruptions to aid in the maintenance of the transmission lines may still occur. The state-of-the-art power plant will be completed by August and was designed with the future in mind.
We cater for future expansion of one and engine. We've already have the base prepared, and we have a generator cubicle and a feeder cubicle.
Reported from the new Bartica power plant with videographer Jawan Jordan, Shaquille Bourne for InfoHub.
And in this week's Small Business Focus, I'll introduce you to a blind self-made manufacturer who is committed to producing easy-to-use products.
4 packs. And it's going to be 2,400 for 624, right? So I'll get it 4 packs for you.
Lawrence Braffett is an entrepreneur, the owner of Braff's Manufacturing, a small agro-processing business that produces several easy-to-use products such as instant porridge and fish cakes. Braffett operates his business from his home in East Ramvelt, where he is helped by an assistant, Rudo Best. Together, they source raw materials, then process and sell their products. The businessman told InfoHub that business is good, and this is no surprise to him, but it is surprising to most people when they see him at trade shows, mainly because he is blind.
1 of 1, column 1, row 1. Taskbar pane, running applications.
Well, that one, those shows I can say I want to use the word wow. Amazed the patrons, because they're amazed and overlook somebody who doesn't have sight can make these things and so. And the market, I can tell you, the sale is one that I can't really complain in terms of.
Braffett was not born blind. He had his sight until a few years ago when, due to a genetic factor, he became blind. When he had his sight, he was a construction worker. However, after losing his sight, he ventured into rearing chickens, but there were challenges. As a result of his vision loss, Braffett says people would steal his chickens and dry fish, so he had to come up with another plan.
Then I get this bright idea. I can dry planting too, and I start with the planting, do the planting floor. But then I almost get discouraged because when I went to the market to buy the planting, so we buy about 200 pounds and put it on a cart and the man disappear.
Braffett did not despair and continued his quest to be self-sufficient.
Any business, anything that you got to do, you got to expect some you can get some tragedy. But then I just tell you, don't ever give up. And because once you set your mind on a goal, go for it. You can, you at least you aiming to a goal, and if you determine, you can score the goal.
He describes himself as a person who does not like to sit down, but who always tried to come up with ideas that would not only benefit him, but others as well. So he continuously worked towards it.
Many times I would wake up like 2 o'clock in the morning or so, and then I would start thinking about how to make something, and then I would try to figure out the shelf life. That is one of the most important thing. What has a good shelf life? Sometimes I might Google it on the computer to check the shelf life of some of the things, and then put them together, and then to come up with the actual product.
One of the products he came up with is the instant porridge mix, which is very special to him.
It's something like long ago we used to have C-Rex. It's something that you can use readily. As soon as you, let me say you're late or so, all you have to do is add warm water or hot water, which whenever you want to it, right? And so it's made of wheat, oats, and milk, and flavoring like straw. We have it in 3 flavors: strawberry, chocolate, and the ordinary.
He also has ideas about other products he would like to manufacture in the future.
I got some more products in my head right now that I want to do. I'm trying to think about doing a flake with plantain and rice, and then I want to do a cube, vegetable cube.
Braffett is hoping to open a big factory and employ other persons with disabilities. Mr. Braffett has been part of several local trade shows, but now he has the opportunity to attend one in Antigua in July. However, he is seeking a sponsor for a plane ticket to take his assistant with him. Brass Manufacturing can be contacted on telephone numbers 592-651-1314 or 592-223-6123. His products are sold in various supermarkets. This has been InfoHub Recap. Remember to subscribe to our website for more stories and follow us on our social media platforms. Have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Goodbye.